We're taking action for you tonight to help prevent a fire from destroying your home. We found out 40% of fires in the home begin in your kitchen. Emergency calls for cooking fires come in almost daily to Bay Area fire departments. So tonight, we're showing you the simple yet little known way to properly put out a grease fire and show you what happens if you panic. We want to give you fair warning here. Some of the images are tough to see. Cautionary tales aren't supposed to be told by 11-year-olds. Unfortunately, Cody Smith is wearing this one all over his body.
I had a grease fire.
On a Sunday morning this past Memorial Day weekend,
there's smoke coming out the front door. Kids are screaming for an ambulance.
His mother lost track of Cody's breakfast cooking on the stove. A grease fire soon took over the whole kitchen.
We just start throwing cups of water on, but, you know, you think of fire, you think of water.
That only made it worse. Cody ran outside to get away. What happened next is painful to hear.
I turned around and turned back around, and I saw my mom just out with the pot in her hand.
And we threw the grease outside, and my son got burned real bad in his back.
With burns over half his body, Cody would spend the next month in intensive care. Nearly 40% of Florida's house fires start in the kitchen. Cooking fires and the ensuing panic are the #1 culprit, and it happens more than you realize.
This is canola cooking oil.
With that in mind, we partnered with the St. Petersburg Fire and Rescue.
We see it pretty much at all times, day and night.
Borrowing a home slated for demolition, materials provided by Habitat for Humanity, and setting up 5 cameras at different vantage points showing you how to properly put out your next kitchen fire.
They turn it on, end up falling asleep. Next thing you know, the kitchen's on fire.
Cooking oil on your stovetop actually has a built-in warning system. It smokes well before it fully ignites. Now watch closely, because this can save your life. Grab a pot holder and a lid.
And you're gonna have your lid. What you want to do is you want to try to come in at an angle, approach it. The biggest thing is don't panic, approach it, and let it rest on there. Turn off your burner.
Can't find a lid? Grab a cookie sheet or anything like it to suffocate the oxygen.
Make sure it's going to be big enough for the pan. Slide it over top. The worst thing you can do is actually pick up the pan and try to get it outside or to a water source.
And you're about to see why. That's 1 small cup of water on the end of that pole versus 1 cup of cooking grease.
If you're standing in front of this fireball, it's going to catch your clothes on fire, and you're going to sustain burns throughout your face and body.
A lesson some learning way too young.
It's changed a lot, like you never know what's going to happen today. Like, when you wake up, you never know.
Well, the St. Pete Fire Department says using flour to put out a grease fire is dangerous, and baking soda can do more harm than good if you just dump it on the fire. Of course, a fire extinguisher will work in this instance, but there is something else. Firefighters call it Fireman in a Can. That's it right there. It's actually called Fire Stop. For $50, you can pick up a pair at a hardware store. They mount magnetically under your range hood, and as we saw in our up-close demonstration, when the flames hit the can, it sprays an extinguishing powder that safely puts that fire out before it claims your home. Wendy?